Hey, what's up? Today we're talking about the Teenage Engineering EP-133 K.O2, which is a sample composer, i.e. sampler, that's a big step up from the original PO-33 knockout pocket operator sampler. I came across one of these in a Guitar Center and I had to cop it, and I think on one of the old MPC videos we put up, somebody in the comments called somebody else a hipster, so I figured the best thing to do was get the newest sampler from the most hipster brand of musical instruments and let you know if it's worth buying or not. Alright, so keeping with Teenage Engineering fashion, they usually take some kind of design from an old piece of hardware that was iconic. It doesn't necessarily have to be music hardware. Like in this case, it's a desk calculator. A lot of the ways it works internally takes a lot of cues from old samplers. A couple of things I really like about it is its form factor. It's really easy to travel with. I think I bought a bag for like $11 that fits it perfectly. There's a bunch of stuff you can 3D print for it if you go looking around. Like I 3D printed a stand and a hardcover lid for it, just for traveling. The display is very simple. It's LED lights behind basically a colored plate that lights up in different areas when a function is accessed. All the keys, which I really like, are pressure sensitive and mechanical, kind of like a, mechanical keyboard or something like that. It's very thin, super lightweight, has a built-in speaker. Obviously, you probably would know not to expect a huge amount of volume from it, but overall, the design and the look of it is really nice. It has a couple different types of connectivity. It has a 3.5 stereo output, a 3.5 stereo input. It has sync and MIDI ports, both 3.5. It has a USB-C, and then it has a power button. That's pretty much it for I/O. The Teenage Engineering sampler runs on 4 AAA batteries. Believe it or not, the mechanical keys are actually velocity sensitive. And I think one of the biggest downsides to this is that it only has 64 megabytes of storage space, which once you kind of get into it, it's not a huge deal. I mean, you can back up and restore stuff pretty easily with their web-based sample management tool. However, 64 megabytes for a $300 device is tiny nowadays. So recently in the last firmware update, I think they included this new sample management tool which runs in a web browser. Very easy to connect to. Like once you load into it, it will give you a prompt to turn on your device and it will detect it. Then it will start populating whatever samples you have in the device currently. I'd recommend using the backup and restore portion of the tool to save the OG samples in case you ever decide to delete them to get some of that 64 megabytes back, because they actually are pretty good. The stock sounds are actually really good inside this machine. I like them a lot. As you select in the tool, you'll see the waveform for each sample inside the display that's on the picture of the sampler inside the web tool. This will work for anything chopped up, any one-shots that are in there. A lot of the menus are very easy to navigate. Once you take a real look and a real deep dive into the machine, it's pretty instantaneous to operate. choosing sounds very easy, editing sounds. It has very, very limited features, so everything's a little bit more simplistic. I will say that these buttons that they use as the drum or sample pads, they feel great to play drums with. I like sampling with them. I think they did a great job. Sampling can be done like pitching chromatically, just like an MPC 16 levels kind of thing. That's kind of where I think parts of this machine shine. When you start pitching samples or like stuff you've sampled off vinyl, it sounds really good. One thing to add, and I don't know if this is being added in a future update, but there is currently no ability to resample sounds, which I think would really help this machine shine, especially with that limited 64 megabytes of storage. It has an effects suite. There's the punch-in effects exist just like on the PO-33, where you can do momentary beat repeats, stuff like that, or momentary pitch downs. Your main effects for each channel, which there are 4 channels because there's 4 groups, are reverb, delay, compressor, there's distortion. One of the effects that really shines on this machine is the output compressor. You can beef up sounds so nice with it. It's really great. Sampling vinyl or other types of input sources is also very simple and only is a couple button clicks. You can sample the left, right, or right channels stereo, or you can sample the center as a mono file, which is a stereo, but as a mono, if that makes any sense. Sampling is really quick. You hold the sampling key and then play in whatever you want. Just like every other sampler, there's a bunch of different ways to edit what you record. You can pan it, you can trim it, you could do a couple other different things, but it's very rudimentary and it's everything you would need to throw a quick sketch together. Chopping up samples is also fairly easy, albeit a little weird, because it kind of is kind of reminiscent of lazy chop, where you basically play the sample out and hit the next pad when you want the chop. So it's very much a flow thing. I like it. Some people might not like it. All in all, I really like the KO2 EP-133, however many names it has. I really like it. I like sketchpad samplers a lot, something that's easy to throw in a bag and make sounds with or sample other stuff with, especially if I'm traveling or in a hotel. Normally the SP-404 Mark II would be my go-to sampler for this, but I honestly like the workflow on the Teenage Engineering sampler so much that I would consider taking this as just a main unit. However, I think it is enhanced when it's used in conjunction with another unit, like if you were to run this into your SP-404 to capture loops or affect it or whatever you were going to do. Overall, it's $300. If you threw another $150 on that, you can get an SP-404 Mark II that does a whole lot more, sometimes even an MPC-1. But if you like being able to step record and use some of the older, like, I guess, weird workflows or more vintage workflows, I would say definitely check it out if you can. I'm sure, like, these have been out for almost a year now, so I'm sure that we're going to be seeing some of them hit the used market for even cheaper. I will say that as far as like this price range of sampler, I've tried the Circuit Rhythm, I've tried the Model samples, the Korg Volca samples. I would say that I like this one the best. It's the most fun to use to me, and it kind of reminds me of some of the more vintage MPCs. Thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. We'll be putting out some more videos. I know we got an MPC 2500 coming up. We have maybe a Circuit Rhythm, some Electron samplers. Yeah, lots of good stuff in store. Thanks.